Didn't think I'd ever have to do a video like this. But because I'm raising money for a charity, specifically the Brain Charity, I think it's worth me telling her story to you guys and why we are now here to this point. She was the most caring, loving person I have ever come across. And even people that have done her wrong, she always looked for the positives in them, no matter what. The kind of person that would always put others first before herself. All the time. No matter what. She never expected anything in return. And I am so grateful. Because she taught me how to love. And how to care. She always said to me to plan for the future, but always be present in the moment. Don't dwell on the past. What's done is done. Move forward from it. The types of conversations we'd always have when I was picking her up from work, taking her back to the house. And whenever I'd be there and I'd leave, I'd always give her a kiss on the forehead. Without fail, all the time. I'm gonna miss that. On the 27th of March, it's honestly a day that I have on loop in my head every day. I got a call. Jason, can you come? We think Mum's had a stroke. I got to the house. She's sitting there. She looks up. And I said to her, are you okay? And as she does, yeah, I'm alright. I asked her what's happened. And she could hardly speak. She said one side of her arm and her leg she couldn't move. The whole side of her body she just couldn't move. And then the ambulance came. They confirmed that she did have a stroke. And as she does, they go to her, oh, we'll help you get to the ambulance. She goes, no, I can walk. I get in my car and I see her coming at the house with one of the paramedics just guiding her by holding both her hands and walking backwards. And there she is, just walking by herself to the ambulance. So I thought, she'll be fine. She'll be home in a few hours. Like, you just do that when she's not like as if she's not able to walk. She's done all that by herself after suffering a stroke. So we get to Luton Dunstable. And at the hospital, they found through the scans that there was a blood clot. She was still talking. She was still responsive. She was still alert. She was very alert at this point compared to when she was at the house. And they had this window of opportunity to provide a type of medication that turns the blood clot into... It's basically like a blood thinner. So they told her that. she accepted it, and she accepted the medication. She said to herself, she was alert, she said to herself, no, I want to take it. So she took it. She asked us the question, where will I bleed from? And then a matter of seconds it was surreal. I watched her lose control. I watched her in pain. And I couldn't do anything. They scanned her again, and they confirmed a bleed to her brain. They tried to reverse the medication they gave her. So the blood thinner that created the bleed in her brain, they tried to reverse it. This woman's done nothing but work her whole entire life. I've never seen her this bad, this unwell. The one time she gets unwell like this, they had to put her in a coma. They had to control her breathing, they had to control her airways, they had to control her blood pressure. At this point, it was a matter of transferring her to London because they said that they could drain the bleed that's in her brain. And as she's just laying there, a tear just fell down her eye. And I see it slowly just go down. So I wiped it. And I said bye. And then that same night, we got a voice note.
We accepted your mom because we wanted to assess her and see if we could do any operation to help. When she arrived here, she came in with both people's unreactive and dilated, and that's a sign of compression in the brainstem. And the new CT head showed a lot of blood in the brain, so that small bleed within the brain has expanded. Okay. The major problem at the moment is the bleeding within the substance of the brain, and she has it in both sides of the brain now. Okay, so left and right. We don't think surgery would benefit her at this stage at all.
Her pupils are dilated, and there was a second bleed on her brain. So the next day, we head down to London Hospital. Neurology and Neurosis Hospital, I think it was. The doctors and consultants had pulled us all into a room, and that's when they confirmed that there's no brainstem activity. Meaning she was brain dead. And it's weird because they're telling us to make a decision. Not whether she lives, but how she would go. I think at that point we accepted it to be a thing of, we're not in control, we're not turning off the ventilator. If she wanted to snap out of this, only she could do that. If she wanted to go, she could go. It was her choice. It's always her choice. And I would never even take away hers. As much as I wanted her to be here, and whilst she was still laying in that hospital, I didn't stop, didn't think. 2 times a day for roughly 10 days, I think it was. Back and forth, from Bedford to central London, morning and evening. I just didn't want her to be alone. Didn't want her to be alone. I just kept moving. Just didn't want her to think, or there being a moment where if she was to go, I would miss it. I would miss it and she was by herself. Wednesday the 8th of April, 5:31 p.m. was the moment she'd gone. The ventilator was still on. But her heartbeat stopped. I think that was the hardest part. One moment changes everything. One conversation changes everything. You lose someone like that, and it makes you realise that you take time and people for granted. We do it every day. I think this has all made me see things differently. I've been so angry, I've pushed people away. But I know what she would always say to me. Don't be angry, Jason. Gal suniya kar. Tu gusse na ho. Jo hona hoga. That's what she keeps on saying to me all the time in the car, every time. That basically means, don't be angry, Jason. Listen to what I'm saying to you. You gave to everyone without hesitation, without any conditions. You always gave to everyone. And I want to carry that forward. So, the Brain Charity supports people going through situations like this, and the families around them as well. Because this isn't about just one person. This is everyone that was in those rooms, which I hope you would never have to go through. You know when something scares you so much? You think about the people that matter to you the most. And I know for a fact that when I am about to jump out of that plane, there's only going to be one person that I'm always going to be thinking about. And it's always going to be her. And I can just imagine her now hearing, "You're going to jump out of a plane." She says to me, "Are you stupid?" If I could say anything to her right now, if she was here in this room with me right now, and I knew that it was going to be the last time that I would ever see her looking at me, talking to me, I love you, and I'll be fine.